Welcome everyone to the first webisode of a brand new series, Concept Before CAD. I'll be one of your hosts, Brian Zias, as we tackle a series of design challenges that we find around the office. Now we're going to be using the new 3D Experience platform and SOLIDWORKS Mechanical Conceptual. First step, let's get on the line Brad Williamson, my colleague and your co-host. Brad, can you hear me? Are you there?
Hey Brian, is it working?
Hey Brad, how are you and what are you up to today?
Oh, I'm good. Hey, we talked yesterday and I decided to try to mock up the entire office using MC. Check this out. It looks awesome.
And that looks really good. I think you're missing something though. You could really clean up that desk if you get one of those, wall-mounted LCD monitor arm type things. Do you have one of those?
Yeah, I do have one of those. Let me just jump into Mechanical Conceptual and I'll just type in a keyword here in the search field. Let's see, we'll narrow that down with some tags. Okay, there's the one I want. I'll just drop that into my workspace and mate it right to the wall. There you go.
It's fantastic, man, but one second though. That's a production-ready, fully detailed manufacturing model from our friends over at Ergotron. And I thought the spirit of things is we're going to mock up things using Mechanical Conceptual. So isn't that cheating a little bit?
I suppose that's fair. But Mechanical Conceptual is the perfect tool for tackling this design challenge. I'm going to get to work on a couple of new concepts, and I'll present those back to you here in just a few minutes.
Hey, fair enough. So Brad's going to tackle a brand new monitor arm design from scratch using MC. Can't wait to see what it comes up with.
I have an idea for a vertically articulating arm design that can slide along a track. I'll begin by sketching out a basic linkage. Each object behaves like a physical part, and I don't have to fully define each object. But if dimensions are needed, I can just click on an entity and enter a value. Sketch relationships are automatically added too. I'll use the slot tool to draw my next link. The links snap right into place as I draw them, and they instinctively behave like real-world mates. This eliminates the overhead of traditional CAD sketching, so I can immediately begin to visualize the motion of my mechanism. Motors can be added too, to define specific timing and motion behaviors, and I can even show a trace path for any point on the mechanism. When I'm ready to save, the design is securely stored in my private workspace on the cloud, where it's always secure, up to date, and always accessible to my team members. Finally, one of the toughest challenges in the early stages of design is capturing all the evolving concepts digitally. Concept archives allow me to capture snapshots as we iterate on the design. We can return to any previous concept if we decide to branch off in a different direction. Now I need to let Brian know what I've been working on. In the past, I would just start an email trail and use a file sharing site to share the data. But with Mechanical Conceptual, the social collaboration tools are built in. I'll make a blog post to describe my idea. Right from within the modeling app, I can add my comments, insert a screenshot, or attach any file.
Hey, that's pretty cool. What I like most is I see your notification on our idea community, and I can quickly go in and check out your design, see what you've been working on. Now, this design looks pretty good. I really like the vertical arm. Looks like it's moving well, but can we have a little more lateral movement? And also, I'd really like to see this thing come to life in 3D. Other than that, that was lightning fast.
All the members of my team can access the social collaboration tools from anywhere, even on their mobile devices. Through the use of private social communities built into the 3D Experience platform, we now have a centralized and convenient venue to discuss the design and maintain a history of everyone's contributions. So I saw Brian's feedback on the community. I guess this time I'll try a concept where the monitor arm pivots horizontally. I'll sketch out a bracket for a standard VESA 100 monitor mount. Dragging the bracket shows me how my mechanism is moving. But let's add a couple of motors to define the range of motion. Now that I've verified the motion in 2D, SOLIDWORKS Mechanical Conceptual effortlessly helps me turn my sketch objects into 3D parts. As soon as I click on any sketch object, I can use Instant 3D to drag the extrusion. The single modeling environment makes it easy for me to edit each component. The relationships that were captured in 2D are automatically mapped to real 3D mechanical mates. I found a step file of an LCD monitor, which I've imported into my workspace. I'll attach it to the mount with a couple mates. I can freely drag the assembly to test the range of motion, but better yet, the motion simulation that was defined in the concept sketch is available in 3D without any extra work on my part. I like where this concept is headed.
Yeah, this design is definitely heading in the right direction. But now that Brad has reached a feedback point, he's going to initiate with me a co-review session. He's going to chat and mark up his model. I'm going to take it and drag it around and see what kind of motion it has. and I'm able to really interrogate and give him feedback real time. I'm going to challenge him, though, to incorporate more degrees of freedom, a lot like a vertical and lateral combined, maybe a multi-hinge method. And then also, I want to see what this looks like in 3D space to see if it's going to work for my office.
Being able to capture and discuss the previous concepts helped me to arrive at a better design much faster. Without the real-time input of my team members, I may have never thought to try this multi-hinge concept, or it may have already been too late in the detailed design process to do anything about it. And just think, we did all this before we ever launched our CAD program.
Well, let's return now to our office mock-up and bring in your finished arm. I'm going to search for Brad Arm. And that's really all I need to know to find what you've been working on, because everything we do is always saved to our private secure cloud space. Bring in that arm, I'm going to throw in a few mates, and then a lot like SOLIDWORKS, I can just set this thing to flexible. Make sure that the range of motion works inside of this particular office application.
SOLIDWORKS Mechanical Conceptual really helped us zero in on a great idea, fast. But you know what was great is that we captured the entire conceptual process. Not just the concept models, but the entire discussion history as the design evolved. And I have a lot of confidence now if we decide to go forward with a detailed design that we're launching from the right spot. Well, Brian, I'd love to get my hands on Mechanical Conceptual for your next design challenge. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, of course, Brad. Thanks a lot for your help. That was some fantastic and fast work inside of Mechanical Conceptual. For all of you out there, thank you for joining us for these few minutes, and we hope to see you next time on Concept Before CAD.